Today we are working on Excel Lesson 3 using the if function. So this is a document you should have open up. Step 1, you will use a worksheet that will calculate the number of travel points given to customers based on the amount they spend. For every doll hair that a customer spends, the program awards 100 Air Chem points. In addition, the program awards customers an additional 20 points for every dollar they spend and the amount is over 500. Save the workbook as My Air KM Awards in the Jasper Active My Projects folder. So save as, go to your My Projects folder, click Save, mark that as answered, go to the next step. First, calculate the number of points per dollar. Select cell D5 and enter equals C5 times, which is Shift 8, that's your times button, or there's a times button above the number 9 on your keypad, 100. So it multiplied this cell times 100. Select cell D5 again and copy it down to D6 to D20. So I'm going to click on the bottom right hand corner here and drag, left click with my mouse and drag it down. If you click on these formulas, you can see that it's correct. So mark as answered, go to step 2. Now calculate the bonus points per dollar, but only do this where the amount is greater than 500. So select E5, click the Insert Function button to the left of the formula bar to open the Insert Function dialog box. So here's your where it's talking about. Or you could, or in the category, select in the or category, hard for me to say, click Logical, so I was blind, it is right here. I looked the first time and didn't see it, so Logical. In the Select a Function list, click If, so click If right here, and then click OK. So we change this to Logical and If, and then click OK. Excel displays the Function Arguments dialog box to help you enter the correct arguments for this function. You'll base the logical test on the cost of travel, which is in cell C5, and it must be over 500. So in the logical test field, right here, we're going to type C5 greater than 500. Make sure you select greater than and not less than, but do not press enter because we're looking for anything that's over 500, and right here we'll say equals true. The next section is the value if true section. If the result of the conditional test, C5 greater than 500 in this case, is true, Excel will return the value in this box to the worksheet cell. In this case, the value has to be calculated. In the if value true field, so this next box, you will type C5 times 20. The last part of the function is the value of false section. If the result of the conditional test is false, Excel will return this value. In this case, the value would be 0. So we're going to click there and we're going to type 0. So looking right here, this is what yours should look like. C5 greater than 500, C5 times 20, and it gives you the number and then value of false. So click OK there. Now click OK. Note that the resulting formula is if C5, and you can look up here in the formula bar, if C5 is greater than 500, C5 times 20 equals 0. Since the calculated value could result in a decimal value, you can use an additional rounding function to round the value up or down to the nearest whole number. You can accomplish this by embedding the if function inside the round function. That makes a lot of sense right now, I'm sure. Mark that as answered. Go to the next one. We're going to now use that round function. In cell E5, press F2. Move the cursor inside the cell to the left to a position between the equals and if. So right here, you see right between the equals and the if, and we're going to type round, and then starting parentheses. Press the end key. There's an end key on your keyboard, and that takes you to the end of that formula. And type comma, 0, and then end parentheses, and press enter. This technique of using a function inside another function is known as nesting. When you nest functions, Excel will perform the innermost functions first. Use those results as arguments for the next outer level of functions until the entire formula is calculated. You can nest up to 7 levels of functions. Mark that as answered. Go to the next one. Copy the formulas from from E5 to E20. So we're going to click in E5, click right here in the bottom right hand corner and drag that down to E20. Bonus points are now calculated only if the amount in column B is greater than 500. So you look at this and you compare mine to theirs, and they are the same. So we know we did that right. Mark that as answered. Save the workbook. So click File, Save. We're done. Submit it. Submit results. There are green checks, so this completes using the if function